PHP, you're going to flip out in this video. Not kidding with you. You're going to flip out in this video. I got so many announcements. I'm going to flip out in this video. I'm going to give you a lot of different things. March Madness, you're going to flip out. Non-MDs, you're going to flip out. SVP, some of you guys are getting some sick bonuses. New comp. I'm going to cover calendar. The March Madness setup, that's going to be very different. The ranking, I got so many. Jamaica, for those of you guys that are going to Jamaica, I got some crazy surprises for you with Jamaica. And a comp change. A part of the comp that you're going to like. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff I got to cover. By the way, I'm not doing any leaders bulletin because we just don't have any time for leaders bulletin for the amount of stuff that I'm covering with you. However, I want you to be thinking about something. Everybody's back from the big event. Everybody is. You're fired up. You're jacked up. Everybody is. Before I get into my message and tell you exactly what's about to happen the next 90 days, I want you to understand this is going to be the greatest 90-day run we have ever gone on in the history of the company, ever. We've never, ever. What we're going to do the next 90 days, we've never ever done before. Cash flow is going to be high. Promotions, MD promotions, SVP, records being broken, things being done that we've never ever seen before. I've spoken to many of you. I know what you're thinking about. It's going to be very wild. But before we get into the message and I give you all these updates, I need 10 minutes of your undivided attention to hear exactly what I want to share with you. So look, this is very important for you to listen to. If you're in your car right now, you're in California because this video went out at 12:01 Central Standard Time, could be 10:01 on West Coast, or you're waking up early in the morning, East Coast at 6 o'clock, you're watching this in your bed. No matter where you are, I want you to cut every distraction around you and watch the video. Listen, watch the video. This is not a video to miss out. 2 videos a year, you got to watch every second of it. This is one of them. February 1st is one of them. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me for a second. Okay. Look, we are back from the big event. We had a great big event. Obviously, record-breaking big event. Obviously, Kevin Hart, the most insane entertainment we've ever had in the history of the company at a big event. My phone is still blowing up from our competitors saying private messages saying, I wish our company put this many resources into their field as much as you guys do at PHP. So many people are getting ready to make a move to the company saying, how does a company like yours invite a superstar, let alone what does even a superstar agree to come to a company like yours? Because so many of them cannot get them, right? My phone's been blowing up. Many of you are having an easy time recruiting. I just got off the phone with Kahindi right now. I'm getting off the phone with Alejandro telling me he's recruiting people from Virginia, telling me all this stuff that's happening. Chris Hart sending me messages. He's tearing it up right now in Maryland. There are so many wild things going on with the company right now, but it's very important for you to embrace the message I'm about to give you. Look, when you're winning and the company is growing, we have a tendency, this is human nature, when we're winning, to get soft, to get cocky, to get arrogant, and think this is going to continue if we stay the way we are. We think the success is going to keep coming if you and I don't improve. We think success is automatically going to come because all PHP is growing and it's going to happen to me as well and all this other stuff. Look, there are 3 types of people that leave every big event. And I'm going to tell you the 3 types of people, and you tell me which one you fall under. One of the group is the one that came off a great big event. This big event for you was a very good big event, meaning you walked across the stage more than often. You got recognition like you never have before. You got more speaking time than ever before. You were hosting multiple times. You were MVP team. You know, you had some awards that you got that you had. Maybe you were a comeback kid. Maybe you were an MD MVP, SMD, EMD MVP, SVP, and up MVP. You walked across the stage. Your parents saw you. Maybe your parents spoke on stage. Maybe you had the most speakers ever on stage. Maybe you increased your net SVP by the highest. And on top of that, you did it because your base shop led the way. Not because your hierarchy drove your hierarchy, because your base led the way. So this event for you was insane. I talked to Vargas. I said, Vargas, what's your strategy coming back? He said, we had an emergency meeting. I said, okay, what'd you guys do? He said, we watched Rocky. I said, really, which Rocky, 1 or 4? He says, neither, 3. I said, why Rocky 3? Makes no sense. Everybody watches Rocky 1 because it's underdog. Or 4, let's bring people together, go against somebody bigger. No, we watch Rocky 3. Why? Because in Rocky 3, Rocky got cocky. And I want to make sure we, the people, doesn't get cocky. I want to make sure we keep competitive spirit that we have, and we do it even more than before. That's why we watch Rocky 3. Think about how Vargas is thinking. He crushed everybody in base recruiting. He crushed everybody in base production. Everybody. He's beating everybody in flow, everything except 1 or 2 people in the company. Everybody. And he's watching Rocky 3. See, that's the one part about you got the victories, and all of a sudden this guy's coming back saying, wait a minute, we've got to be careful not to get cocky. The second group of people that come from a big event is somebody that had a neutral event. Let me explain to you what a neutral event to you means. You typically walk top 20, you rank number 19, you were 19 again. You typically get 5 minutes to speak, you got 5 minutes to speak. You're typically a 3-minute speaker, you were a 3-minute speaker. You're typically 10, you got 10. You typically sit all the way in the back, you sat all the way in the back. You typically sit in the midsection, you sat in the midsection. You're typically in your own breakouts with your SVP, you walk across the stage for a team player award or something like that. You did the same thing like that again. Nothing crazy, nothing wild, it's a neutral event. No one paid attention to you, no one didn't pay attention to you. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Good seeing you. But no one's threatened by you, neither are you with your numbers. Very neutral event. You know what's the third group? Let me tell you what the third group is. Third group is the people that came to this big event, and it was one of your worst big events for you. You didn't get the same amount of speaking time. You typically get multiple 30-minute sessions. You got maybe 2 10-minute sessions. You didn't host. Maybe you were a 5-minute speaker typically. You were bumped out. You didn't even speak at this event. Maybe you're typically a 10-minute. You spoke for 3 minutes. Maybe you're typically multiple 10 minutes. You only spoke for 5 minutes. Maybe you're somebody that typically speaks with the bigger players. You came in a group of all these other small $50,000, $100,000 earners. Why am I in this group right now? Maybe you were somebody that sat all the way in the back and you're frustrated. Maybe you're somebody that everybody kind of looked at like, wow, this guy's base shop used to be top 5. He's not even top 20 right now. Maybe barely top 20. What happened to, and it's frustrating to you. You are absolutely frustrated. Perfect. I'm going to give you 2 reactions each category has when they leave a big event. Listen to me very carefully. Number 1, those who had a very good event, they come back one of 2 different ways. 1, extremely cocky, uncoachable, I can do whatever I want to do, and their numbers leaving the big events like this because they're cocky. We just had one on the Dream Team call. Major high going into the big event, lowest production on the Dream Team call. What happened? Because you had such a high. And so this success, this victory, and all this stuff is followed by a major fall because you got cocky. You thought it's automatically going to happen. Or you have this major victory from a big event, you come back and you say, I want more of it. If I can do this, what if I can do this? Man, if I can become a director and walk across the stage and put a hard hat, and I've only been in the business for 30 days, maybe I can become an MD by the end of September, worst case scenario, October. If I can get to $260,000 income with PHP in the first 12 months, my name is Almaraz, and we're killing it, maybe we can get to $650,000 and beat Sapala's record second year. You know, if we can go out there and do a triple promotion, maybe we can teach a couple other people to do triple promotion. So the high becomes, but because you want to take it to a whole different level, you're in a different stage. Like, I have to change to have this happen for me. On the frustration side, 2 different ways. 1, you become uncoachable. You think it's everybody's fault. I can't believe this person did this, it's that, it's that. It's my SMD's fault. It's my SVP's fault. It's PHP's fault. It's my chairman's council. It's my MD's fault. That's why I'm now winning. That's one way. A lot of people do it. Typically happens at big events. Or the other one, you're so frustrated that you want to prove to everybody, watch what I'm going to do when I come back, and I'm going to change like never before. I'm going to become the most coachable, best attitude support of the company. And then the neutral people, those that are hiding because no one's really noticing, you know what you start thinking about? Here's what you start thinking about. You know what's one of the scariest things about being a neutral leader? Let me explain to you what happens. You get lost in translation. Here's why. We're going to recruit 47,000 people a month. We're going to sell 50,000 policies in a month. We are going to fill a football stadium. Do you want to be just somebody in there that everybody forgets? Do you want to be somebody in there where a lot of people that came at the same level as you, now they're making $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3, $5 million your income, and some of the people that you were at the same level with, they're not making $10 million your income, and you're not? Do you want that? Do you want to see 50 of their teammates doing much more than you? Do you want to see one of the guys that you were in Fast Start School with 3 weeks ago? She's serious. You're not. She's making $600,000 2 years from now. You're only at $63,000. Do you want to see that? Because that's going to happen to the neutral people. So you have to make a decision who you want to be. Regardless who you are, this is my challenge to all of you. And I'm done with my message. I'm going to bring Tom up. No matter who you are, my challenge to you is to do one thing. And here's what the one thing is. Decide to recreate yourself. We had a long meeting today, and we had a long meeting the week before. Every time after the beginning, we do a debrief. I lead by recreating me. Then I expect everybody to recreate themselves. Then I impose and I challenge. But it starts with me recreating me. And some of it has to be self-aware of knowing your own insecurities, knowing your own bad habits, knowing your own trends, knowing your own faults, knowing your own things that you do typically, and choosing to change. Because if you want to upgrade to the next level, it ain't going to happen with the way you are right now. You got to change. If you do, this year's for you. And this year could be 10 times bigger than what you ever thought was going to happen. I never thought it was going to get like this. Never did I think it was going to get like this. I thought this thing for me was like $500,000 a year income. I was going to have a good life. Everything was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be like this. For some of you guys that think bigger, this could be 10 times bigger than what you think big is to you if you decide to recreate yourself. I don't know who it's going to be. I have a list here of the people that I think could be the next $500,000 earners, next $250,000 earners, next SVPs. I have a list. Maybe I'll read them off to you at the end. You know who's going to make the biggest change? Those who recreate themselves. I just have no clue who it is. I just hope it's you and nobody else. By the way, I'm talking to you in your bed or your car or your office all by yourself. I hope it's you. You know exactly who you are that I'm talking to. I hope it's you, because if you change, we're going to have a blast. If you don't change, we are not waiting for you to change slowly. I'm just telling you, we're going. So I hope you buckle down yourself, snap out of it, the ego, the frustration, the neutral, all that other stuff. Realize you're special. Realize we want the best for you and your family. Spread your wings and let's go fly together. Let's go show the world what we're all about. Let's go shock everybody. Let's get everybody to say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe who she turned into, who he turned into, who that couple turned into. Us together. Show the world what we're all about. If you're in, let me know you're in. I want to hear from you. Message me all over the place and let me know if you're in. With that being said, I'm going to bring up our president, Tom Ellsworth. Tom likes, yes, what do you think? You like the suit?
You're sure, very sharp.
Looking
sharp.
I like your suit way more.
Thank you.
So you're wearing number 8. Number 8 is Tom. Mario, who's number 8 jersey for this Chicago Bulls jersey? I know Mario's a big football fan.
Joe Montana?
It's actually Steve Young who replaced Joe Montana and was a Super Bowl MVP. And Steve Young still holds the record, 6 touchdown passes thrown in 1 Super Bowl game. And he replaced Joe Montana. Joe Montana actually got hurt, 4-time Super Bowl champion, but Steve Young took his place, took his mentor's place.
Can you tell me who was his running back at that time when he got the 6 touchdowns? I'm curious to know if you're going to know who the
Roger
running back.
Craig?
It was Ricky Watters.
Ricky Waters?
Yes, I think it was Ricky Waters.
Roger Craig was also a Niner.
Roger Craig was before. But okay, Tom, so tell us what you got. You got something special here to tell us.
Well, you know what?
And by the way, he's wearing this because it's football season's about to be opening up. NFL season's about to start up with us. So tell us what you have, why you have some liquor in your hand.
Oh, this is not liquor. This is champagne. And this is wonderful stuff.
So champagne's not considered liquor?
I don't know. I think champagne is sort of more elegant than liquor.
So you can't get a little bit tipsy off champagne?
Liquor's like 31st Street. Champagne's Park Avenue.
Especially if it's a couple $100. So fair enough.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
or more than that. This is a bottle of Le Rive. Le Rive means the dream. We just got done with a big event with some really great recognition for a lot of people that earned it. And in that recognition, we have a couple great awards, like the Rookie of the Year, the Comeback Kid, that go beyond just leaders' bulletins. This Le Rive means the dream. And we sell the dream. And I think there's no better thing to do, another piece of recognition right after the big event, than to give this to somebody who is out there really selling the dream. And I'd like to send this, and it's been signed by, oh wow, it's signed by you. Sell the dream, written right on the bottle, signed by you, beautiful gold ink. I'd like to send this to Jose and Marlene Gaitan, #1 equity owners in the company, and they went out and they bought a Ferrari. There's a lot of great cars out there, and there's a lot of people driving great cars thanks to PHP, but a Ferrari is the champagne of automobiles. You are selling the dream, and we are sending this to you because you're selling the dream.
Number 3 baby, by the way, right after this. So this if the baby, if anything happens, like number 3 comes up, it's got to be whatever the first name you choose, middle name, Le Rev Gaitan.
Le Rev.
Sponsored by our Tom Ellsworth. Tom, by the way, if you're wondering why we're so close, we like to be close to each other, but he needs the mic, so our editors are telling us to get a little close. Tom, thank you for that. This was his idea. Tom comes up with so many great ideas. Tom's always an idea guy, but that was great. Okay, is it fair for me to go into some of the announcements? Is that okay if I go into some of the announcements, Mario?
Go, baby, go!
So the first thing I want to talk to you about is debriefing based on all the surveys you sent to us, which we sat down last week and this week. We went through every single one of them, and the positive feedback we got 10 times higher than what we've seen in the past before. Obviously, you guys were blown away by the size. Everybody said, I can't believe how much the company is growing. I'm in shock. So many messages, I'm in shock. I couldn't believe it. It was nuts. But then also at the same time, when we have growing pains, we have line up with, can we make sure the lines are more open, doors more open up? The next conference we're doing, we're the only company that's doing a convention at the next hotel because we're just getting bigger. Guys, next year we could very easily have 10,000 registrations to the next big event. And if we do numbers like that, you just got to realize there's going to be new issues, new challenges, new things that we have to address. And we're going to collectively grow through this together because we're going to get to 50,000. And no matter where we go to that we haven't been before, there's going to be growing pains, which is one of the things we experience here. As far as the President's Club goes, a lot of the feedback we got, what do we do to make sure it's going to be easier? We've simplified it. Next year's President's Club will not be FA and up. It's going to be directors and up because the standards are getting higher and higher. So if you're a director, when you come and register, you'll get a ticket to walk into the leadership meeting, which is directors and up. That'll be exciting. The seating, like net SVP seating, who gets this? Does it change all this other stuff? You're going to see that we paid bonuses to SVPs that got the most people there on day one, which means next year, where you sit will be based on how many people you get there to register on day one. Not day three. We're not changing positioning. It's who is the best at getting people there day one. If you're good at doing that, you're going to favor this area. If you're not good at doing that, you'll be sitting in the back because you get your people to come to the event late and award ceremony night. We want to recognize the people that get people there on day one. Day one, whoever it is, they get the best seats in the house. And then ideas as far as bringing Kevin Hart back, I love the fact that you guys loved him. Tom gets credit for Kevin Hart. We were at the office late at night. It was myself, him, and Moral. And Tom said, Pat, we got to pull we have to go with The Rock wasn't available. He says, we just got to get somebody like this. Tom's a guy that understands Q-score, social media, audience, who would connect. So all of you guys that wanted Kevin Hart back, send a message to Tom thanking him the fact that he sold myself and the board saying we got to go for it. Tom doesn't say that. We don't cut the check. So all the love. Send it to Tom. Since we're already on the topic of the big event, let me kind of share with you which SVPs got bonuses. By the way, if you're not an SVP, I promise you want to be an SVP because there's additional perks that not everybody else has. This bonus has nothing to do with GEB, nothing to do with your EMD, SMD bonus. This is a complete different bonus linked to your big event on how many people, which SVPs can grow from last year attendance to this year by minimum 75%, butts and seats, not registration. I'm going to give you the numbers on which net SVP team increased by the most butts and seats. Ready? Here's the top 10. Palaio at the bottom. Their net SVP team increased by only 23. It's a big net SVP, but they stayed flat. But they increased by 23. That's it. They're at the bottom. Kahindi, 79. Gaetan, 116. Cooper, 124. Donajo, 137. Phelps, 144. Del Toro, 206. Graziani, 210. Sapala, 251. Ready? Vargas is 337. By the way, last year, they were not even SVPs. They were a small hierarchy themselves. Very small hierarchy. Boom! They had more than anybody else in attendance growth. Now watch this. Total. Let's see who had the most people, butts and seats at the big event from the lowest to the highest. So what I just shared with you is increase. Now I'm going to give you the actual total number. Number 10, Candy Thomas, 185. Number 9, Phelps, 235. After number 9, we have number 8, Cooper, 329. Donajo, 363. Gaetan, 410. Palaio, 473. Then we have after Palaio, Graziani at 527, Vargas at 559, Del Toro 583, Sapala's number 1, 680. Del Toro's are going like passing up. Del Toro's about to pass up, Unity. They're already passed up EIB. They have only like one other place to pass up the way they're growing right now. It's going to be very interesting with Vargas's and Del Toro's coming up. Can you imagine if We the People and Conquistadors just goes, boom, boom, and then boom. They just pass up by everybody because they're getting the most people to the big event faster. Now, having said those numbers right there, what does this mean? 2 SVPs increased their attendance by a minimum of 75%. And by the way, one of them increased it not by 100%, but by 125%. So what does that mean to them? Let me give you the bonuses. I'll explain on the SVP bonus how this number's worked out. We're going to get in a little bit more details on the call. But I'm going to recognize these guys because they're getting nice checks. They have no clue, by the way, they're getting these checks. So let them experience it. Ask them, did you watch the video, what it said about the check? See what they're going to be saying. But they'll be smiling at the BOM today when you see it. Just look at their face. They're going to have a big smile on their face because they have no clue this is happening. Here we go. The bonus check for Phelps. Phelps didn't grow by 75%. They didn't grow by 100%. They grew by 125%, which means their bonus, cash, direct deposit in their account. Ready? Not $5,000, not $6,000, not $7,000. Ready? $29,000. Boom. $29,000, Phelps, for you growing You built 3 new ring earners. You made the biggest growth last year to this year, $29,000 bonus on top of everything else you do. Great job on whatever you've been doing. Travel all those other places. Next person, Vargas's qualify for a bonus. But their bonus is not tier 1, they hit tier 2. They were 33 away from hitting tier 3, which would have been a sick check, but they hit tier 2. You want to know how much their check is? Not 10 grand, not 15 grand, not 16 grand. Ready? $37,000. Vargas has just got a $37,000 check to start off their month of September. By the way, that's a nice way to start off the month. $37,000 on top of everything else. Anybody want to be an SVP? By the way, does anybody want to grow their attendance by 75, 100% to next year? Anybody? Anybody? Because I can tell you someone's going to want to hit these numbers here as we're looking at them, okay? So send Vargas some love and Phelps some love. Congratulations to you guys on what's going on with this. I'm going to set these numbers aside. Okay, so just to make sure that you're paying attention to the video real quick, the first 3 people that tweet me who the 2 SVPs were that got the big bonuses, the 26,000 and the 37,000, whatever the number was, 37, 38,000. First 2 people that send me the name, tweet me the name, at Patrick Bet-David, the first 3 people. You'll get $100 to PHP Store to buy whatever gear you want. But it's the first 3. Tweet me, at Patrick Bet-David. PHP, we had to do a quick insert of a video because Tikran decided to hit the water and it spilled all over the report. So we're doing a quick insert. Tikran, I had to give you love for the water because we're going to come back to a skit and a scene where Tom comes with the towel to clean up this place. So you're going to ask, why is a towel? Because Tikran, all the love to him, great job spilling water all over the report. So Conquistadors is not that many people. It's gonna be very interesting. Oh, awesome job, bro. This is what happens when the electricity goes out. All right. So now, which net SVP scored the most points for equity? Meaning, which net SVP has helped produce the most new equity point scores this year? I'm gonna go from bottom all the way to the top. At the bottom, tied at 1, Donna Jo and Kahindi Thomas. Okay, they have only 1 person. For Donna, it isn't her. It's somebody else. Out of all the net SVPs, 3 SVPs haven't scored anything personally themselves. It's Cooper, it's Donna Jo, and Alejandro Aguilar. So Donna Jo and Kahindi 1, Alejandro 1.5, Del Toro 2. I thought for sure Del Toro was going to be more than 2, but they're at 2. Graziani and Palayo tied at 2.5. Cooper and Gaitan, they're at 3. Phelp and Vargas tied at 5. Phelp, 5. Vargas, 5. That's good numbers right there. Sapala's leading the way with 5.5. And let me tell you why this is a big deal. When we do our next equity meeting next year in 2019, you know what I'm going to be asking? I'm going to be asking, 1, which SVP scored a point to set the example of being in a base shot game that they scored a point for equity, they're getting more shares, and which net SVP had the most people helped getting equity as well. And when we have that meeting in the room and I ask, stand up if you're part of this team. Stand up if you're part of that team. Everyone's going to pay attention which of these guys is producing the most owners and scoring the most points in PHP. Tikran, why don't you come on up here, come on up here, come on up here. Give us an update on new offices that have been opened up. Give us a little bit of an update about the new equity point score system that you have so everybody knows out there what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here with you guys. A lot of new things happening, a lot of new offices opening up. We're officially at 71. We got 8 more pending to get to 78, hopefully by the first week.
Let me ask you,
September.
when you say pending, who sends you the emails on new offices being opened up? Like, who do they send it to?
So they send it to both licensing and to Amor. It comes to us. We review their lease. We make sure everything's in good order.
Okay.
PHP cannot be affiliated with the lease, so we verify that.
I mean, no one's done that. Like Mike or anybody's never done. Yeah, okay. All right.
So it goes through like this. And then once that's verified, we go through the process making sure their agents are transferring over to the new office with the carrier, so that way when you write policies, it goes actually to the new office, not the old office. So all that gets taken care of, and we approve it within the next couple of days.
And Tom, when that happens, what do you do on that board that you have on the wall? Do you put like a pin on the wall with their office?
There's a new yellow dot on the big map.
You know what's my favorite picture? Clarissa has a picture with her finger on there saying that's our office in Minnesota. That's a sick picture.
That's true.
Okay, tell us the new offices that we have.
One of them, there was recently added. We have 5 new ones that have been official. We have Edith Cuartas out in Salinas, California, working with the Del
Erica
Toros.
keeps talking about what's happening over there. I hear a lot of good things about Salinas.
It's amazing what's taking place with the Conquistadors team. We want to see what's going to happen with them.
That's
next.
right.
Lawrence Corman from Chris Hart's team
in Maryland,
in Maryland made that official. Then we have Then we have Lorna Tracy and Gerda Williams open up another office in Florida, which makes it 10 offices in Florida. They are the number 3 spot. If you look at all over the United States, they're number 3. Then we have Flor and Boris Marakin. They also opened up their Huntsville office, which a lot of new things
I
are
saw that.
happening out
Vargas
there.
sent me the picture from there as well.
And Suzanne Bloom made it official out there in Virginia.
I
which
am
is
a big
pretty
Suzanne
exciting.
Bloom fan, Suzanne. That's what I'm
the
talking
latest.
about.
There's 7 more pending,
I
which
love
is
it.
exciting, including Hawaii, by the way. We'll see what happens in Hawaii.
Who's going to lead? Who's
Kelroy Kohatsu out of the Cornerstone
good.
team.
All right,
so
good.
We'll see what's taking
Okay,
place
so
out
tell us points-wise what we're looking at here. This
Oh
is
my
your
goodness,
sheet.
this is pretty exciting because this is all about equity, and my goal is to help you as a new MD get to equity this year. Many of the conversations we're having, but I'm gonna give you guys a real quick total of who's in the lead. Should I give top 10 or should I go all the way?
No,
What do you
go
think?
from bottom on who scored all the points. Give him the leaders bulletin.
So we got Paul Madrano with 5, Donald Quanell with 5, Joe Molino with 5, Allison Saldana with 5, Sylvia and Gene Chapman 5.
6.
6. They got 6 because
Because it's cash flow.
Yeah, they got the
Yes.
income going up
Okay.
as well, which is pretty cool. Alvaro Astorga also's got he's got 10 points. Now I got the 10 here. Alvaro,
Layla and Sebastian.
Layla and Sebastian got 10. Lizette Garcia's got 10. Ricardo Lopez
That's
Nieves,
great.
Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Rico.
10. Tommy Clark, 10. Castro's 10. Gaussen, 10. Then we got Chris and Evelyn Richardson. I love what's happening out there in San Diego.
Sick.
They got 10.
Yep.
Michael Bryan, 10. Mason, 10. Hart, 10. Then we got Eatmans with 10. Then we got Edward and Jamie Musgrove out there in Memphis, and what's taking place with them. They got 11 because of their income. So their income's going up, which is exciting to see. They got 11, one more over. And we got Cindy Cobos at 15.
You missed Sisme Avalar.
Yes, Sisme Avalar with 15. Octavio with 15. Then we got David and Sandra Vera, 15. Chris and Mary Phelps, 15. Jason Graziani, 15. Ricky and Erica with 15. And Kahindi Thomas at 15.
And then now give top 9.
Now we can go to the top 9. We got Roger and Brenda Rodriguez out of Puerto Rico with 30.
30 points.
Yes.
So they doubled all the other names.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're on a different
nice,
roll
Tom.
with
That's
their first
sick.
check, which is pretty sick.
Awesome.
Lewis and Rhonda Pimber also with 30. Marvin and D at 32 points. So now that's top. Then that's 7th spot. Jose and Marlene Gaitan, the number 1 equity earners so far throughout the
Just
4
one more.
years,
They want
5
more.
years. They're at the number 6 spot with 35. Tied with George Plow at 35. Sheena Mansapal at 35. Del Toro's at 35.
Wow, so you
Then
got
there's
4 people tied at 35.
4 people tied at 35. Then we got the number 2 and the number 1 spot. Number 2 spot, which is exciting to see what's happening in El Paso. George and Catalina Almaraz with 47 points. And leading the way, Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas, number 1 spot with 55. It's exciting.
So by the way, what I did on the bottom here is obviously I want to know which net SVP team is getting the most equity qualifiers, because every time you go there, we're going to have people stand up and say, all the new qualifiers, which SVP team are you part of, to see which SVP is getting the most new equity owners. There's a pride in that,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Tom, I think there's a little bit of pride in that, right?
Huge pride.
Huge pride, okay?
It's all about
By the way, just so you know, electricity went out for 4 hours. Tom called, it's very, very late right now. So Tom called this, a commercial electrical guy came over here. You know, my room smells like it's burning something like, I don't know, it smells like burned plastic, right? What the place smells like. Yep. We've been dealing with this, but we're doing this because it's insane what's going on with the company right now when you look at the equity leaders with net SVPs. So check this out. Watch this here.
So this month, 500 is the goal, guys. It'll be a record-breaking month. We're excited based on the recruits we've had. 4722. We're going to break that new record for licensing. It's going to be exciting leading up to the next 4 months, closing out the whole year.
Awesome.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Thank you,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. All right. Tom, you got your eyes on it with the towel. Just bring it over here. It's going to be okay. It's not a big deal. We can just do that. All right. I'm going to keep going because some tells me you've spilled water before. Tikran just did it. Forgive him for spilling water. We've all done it before. Okay. Now we covered that kind of stuff. Let me get into some of the other stuff that we have. Book of the month. September's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Book of the month's going to be Living Life of Significance by Joe Jordan. Obviously, everybody saw Joe Jordan speak. His score at the big event was so high. Everybody was in love with Joe Jordan. And Joe Jordan loves PHP. I don't know if you guys heard what he said in the video that came out. His book is going to be the book of the month. The reason why we're doing this is because September's life insurance. I want everybody to realize the power of what we do for families. Everybody needs to read this book. Mario, what is the website they need to go? I think it's joseph.jordan.
JosephJordan.com.
JosephJordan.com to buy it from his website. Mario, we'll put the link below. JosephJordan.com. We'll put the link. Go buy it directly from his website because he can ship it to you immediately versus you going through Amazon. It's going to take a little longer because he needs to ship it to Amazon, then get it to you. So Amazon doesn't have 2,000 copies with them, but if you go direct directly, he's got 2,000 copies sent to you guys ASAP once you buy it. So that's the book of the month. I already told you the goals for the month of September: 5,000 recruits, 5,000 apps, 500 new people getting licensed. Labor Day, we're going to be closed on 9/3, September 3rd. Labor Day will be closed. I know a lot of people are doing full-timers. I heard some special stuff. Tarzano's doing a full-timers, interesting activities. If he hasn't told you, he will. Looks like you guys are going to have fun on Monday afternoon with where you guys are going to go and what things you're going to be doing. And I'm hearing a lot of cool stuff going on with different teams across the country on Labor Day for their area-wide full-timers. Next, why don't I talk about what's going on with Moon Palace for the people that are going to Jamaica? Okay, so check this out. When we had Havana, we're talking about Cuba. A lot of people that were supposed to go to Cuba, last minute, Morale contacts the embassy and they say it's not a safe place to bring your people to Havana. On a side note, just today, Cuba just announced that they're officially passing a law, big deal here, they're officially passing a law where citizens of Havana, Cuba, can start their own businesses. How wild is that? Isn't it amazing what we talk about? A country like Cuba can be saved through capitalism, and this is going to happen all around the world, by the way, with capitalism, but that's big news. Still, we may be doing something in Cuba in the future. We're going to Jamaica right now. We had Moral and Jennifer go to Jamaica this last week, okay? They came back, they couldn't believe it. They looked at so many different properties. They came back saying Moon Palace, just built 3 years ago. They negotiate contract. I'm going to tell you some funny things. It's all inclusive. They have the sickest restaurants, most insane buffet. You can go look at them. We'll put the link below. Mario, I'm sure you're posting some pictures up here. 3 years old. Everything's brand spanking new. But here's the one thing that most of you guys going to Jamaica you don't know about. Anybody that's going there, we are giving you $750 credit to every single room you can use to spa, golf, whatever pretty much you want to spend. Moral's going to tell you. So you and your wife, you and your husband going to spa, get a massage, get a facial, whatever you want to do, that's going to be great. But it doesn't stop there. Let me tell you what else we're doing here. At Moon Palace, for those of you that go to all-inclusive where food, everything is covered, at Moon Palace, typically we go places, you have to pay an additional $250 a day for your kids or your family. You get 3 kids under the age of 17 you pay $250 a day, 5 days, $1,250 times 3 kids, $3,750. At Moon Palace, your kids, free. You don't have to pay nothing. Under 17, nothing. They stay in your room, you pay nothing. Thank Moral for Moon Palace in Jamaica. Moral and Jen went out there. They did all the negotiation stuff, so make sure you send them some love. For the people that are going to Jamaica with us, we are going to have a blast. October, Jennifer wanted me to prepare you guys. For those of you guys, everybody knows October is going to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month, especially for a company that's driven by so many strong women. We have to make sure we contribute to a cause that affects a lot of women's health. Some could be your parents, your mother, sisters, aunties. October, another big month that we'll be going through our breast cancer awareness initiative that we do. All the offices, send your email to Jennifer at PHP Agency. Every single office. Send your information to Jennifer at PHP Agency. She's going to come back on the next update video to tell you guys what things we're doing in October. But right now, whoever's coordinating their event at the different offices and events, whoever you're teaming up with, send your emails to Jennifer, and Jennifer's going to get back to you guys with the update. So don't be the person that sends it late. Send it first so you can go out there and be prepared for the event with the special things that we'll be doing for October. Very excited about the pink parties that will take place in the month of October. I, myself, and Tom, and Mario and Tikran, we may be doing a tour stop with private jet to 8 different places. We don't know exact locations yet, and we don't know what we're going to be going to. We are currently looking some pricing on where we'll go with the private jets. We may invite a couple of leaders, we may not. But we are planning on visiting some offices in the month of October, so stay tuned for that. It may be October, November, but most likely we're looking at the month of October, mid-month, to go on our own runs. When we go to these different offices, Train the Trainers, put in your calendar. Next year, Train the Trainers. I told you I'm going to give you calendar as well. Put this in your calendar. May 15th to the 18th, Wednesday to Saturday, we're doing Train the Trainers back in Dallas, Texas. Matter of fact, it's in Frisco, Texas, but put in your calendar. May 15th to the 18th. Next year, 2019, Train the Trainers. We're preparing everybody so everybody knows what the schedule and on where we're going with all the stuff that we have going on right now with PHP. A reminder for a couple people here that I want to bring up. Bora Bora. A lot of people asked and said, Pat, what are we doing with Bora Bora? First of all, this is going to cost us around $20,000 a couple, just so everybody knows it. We're not doing top 10 qualifiers, get bungalows, everybody else is staying at the property. Everyone's getting a bungalow. You're going to look down, the water's there, fish, all this other stuff. People bring their food to you, massage. It's going to be a very wild experience. But Bora Bora is only base shop. We're not doing super base or super team. You're either in the base shop category going or you're not. and it's 40 base shops, and it's golf score. So you could do 600,000 points in a base shop. You get no new checks, you don't know recruits, you're not going. We want a very level-headed business, so it's base recruits, base points, and new checks with a minimum of 150 recruits between now and end of 2019, 500,000 points, 15 new checks, not a big deal. 40 people will go to Bora Bora. This is one of those things you don't want to miss out on. And here's the other thing about Bora Bora. Most people will start chasing Bora Bora in May of next year. They're already behind the 8 ball. Most people. Those that are going to go to Bora Bora, they're going to go get it done ASAP, and they're starting now because it started August already. It started August 1st. Till December 31st of 2019. So don't lag on this one. Ladies, Vancouver, I know what Jennifer and Moral are doing. We doubled the budget again for the ladies trip. It's going to be insane where you're going and what you're doing in 2019, April. Top 10 personal producers. It has to be, this is not my husband writes it, but I'm a wife, can I go? Only top 10 ladies that write business, they qualify to compete for this. Top 5 MD-based shop production, husband and wife, but the wife, if you're not the main writer, let's just say Jose and Marlene. Marlene needs to write a minimum of 5 apps, 5,000 points on her own pen to participate. And top 5 MD base licensing that will be going to the big event. And so keep that part to the Vancouver trip, which is going to be a blast. 3 nights, 4 days, every time with the lady. We did New York, Boston. It's become such a great initiative. Just send a message to Ceci and Sheena and ask them, how was your trip to Boston and New York? And see what they tell you. Okay, so I've covered that part here. I covered NetSVP. This is the one part that I wanted to cover that's gone. I'm going to bring this back up because we're about to get to the real big announcement, which is March Madness. So Palm Springs, let's talk about Palm Springs. While I'm giving you this number, keep in mind this is September 1st, meaning there's still going to be more qualifiers because we're not going to get final update for points, recruits, till the 7th or the 8th, right? So I'm giving it to you as of today, which is the 29th while we're shooting this. Okay, if it ended today, Vargas is number 1 in golf score. They get to take 4 couples from their base shop, 2 million point base shop retreat with us in Palm Springs. The next 4, top 5 gets to take 3. Del Toro's ranked 2nd, then Sapala, then Gaetan Hart. They're taking 3. Hart is fighting to get Palayo out of the top 5 because he wants to take an additional couple, and Palayo gets to take 1 less couple. Right now, Palayo dropped off on points. So 6th place is Palayo, then Marvin and D, then Almaraz, then Richardson, then Elvana. Elvana kicked out Jason Graziani to drop off from 2 couples to 1 couple. Now Jason's going to close out, so Jason may come back and be in the top 10 once the numbers are finalized. But as of right now, that's what you're looking at. Jason's number 11, John's number 12, Ricky and Erica 13, Michael Bryan 14, Kahindi Thomas 15. They would take 1. However, Pimbers are right behind Kahindi. So if Pimbers kick out Kahindi, they get to take the 1 person. We'll see what happened there. Pimbers qualified Alejandro, Vera, Joel Molina, Octavio, and Maciel, Roger and Brenda, Ricardo Lopez, Angel and Allison Saldana, Eljanet and Benny Williams, Edward and Jamie Musgrove are qualified as of today. This is going to dictate where your 2019 is going to be. And I'm so curious who's going to have the most qualifiers to that trip, which will be wild. That'll be an insane trip. So I covered all this other stuff. Let me give you one last announcement here for NLG. NLG comp has already been updated in the back office. It's now 105%. It was 95%, 105%. You guys are going to start seeing some strange things happen with your checks. Very, very strange things happen with your checks. And a new announcement for you guys, which is pretty exciting. Many of you guys asked for it. We finally got this contract negotiated. Anaco, moving forward, is not advancing 75% upon issue. Anaco, moving forward as of September 3rd, will be paying out 100% on the policies that are written with Anaco. For those of you guys that write Anaco, I know you are really excited about that because they just went from 75 to 100. So I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of messages about what happened with Anaco. We've been working very, very closely with them to get that part happen. Okay, so Mario's told me, Pat, stop saying March Madness. So I'm not going to say March Madness anymore, Mario, to please you. So obviously it's a March Madness style competition, but it's going to have a different name to it because the prize has to do with the contest, you know, and what the contest is going to be. But, you know, it's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be very competitive. It's a typical bracket stuff that we do. I'm going to give you the golf score based on points. So what I have right in front of me is the top 64 ranking based on how many points you scored from June 1st after the last March Madness that we had till today, okay? What you've scored during this 90-day period is going to dictate your ranking, and it's as if a personal recruiter is 4 points. Personal point, 1,000 points is 3 points. Base recruits, 2 points. Base 1,000 points is, you know the drill, how this works out. I'm going to give you exactly what it looks like with ranking, okay? And then I'm going to give a contest for non-MDs, so stick around because non-MDs will also have their own contest as we go through this here together. So here's the top 64 ranking. Number 64. 64, 63, you're part of wild card. 62, you're in the race. You're competing with everybody else in the bracket. All the other MDs that are in the wild card bracket, you guys are all fighting together for one spot during the first 15 days. Here we go. Number 64, Wendy and Greg Elliott. Number 63, barely missed it. Tony Rojas, you're going in the bracket with everybody else. But 62 who made it, Stephanie Luan, ranked 62. David Bryan, 61. Paulette and Siamak Sabatimani, 60. Maurice and Tori Hansberry, 59. Leila and Sebastian Vargas, 58. Tony Martinez, 57. Anrin and Homero Galindo, 55. Sylvia and Gene Chapman, 54. By the way, they would have been higher if they do a little bit more base recruiting and some of the checks. They would have been a higher ranking, but 55 is where they're at. Carlos Medrano, 54. Flor and Boris Marokin, rookie MDs, 53. Renee and Dalila Reyes, 52, simply because their base recruits have spiked up. Marlene Colmenares, 51. Alfredo and Crystal Garcia, 50. Bianca Rist, Tikran, 49. Pretty impressive, Bianca. Okay, let's keep going. 48. Len and Tasha Cooper is ranked. Every single SVP except for one is ranked. Len is ranked. Len, I'm excited for you, man. You are officially ranked in the top 64. Alonzo Aguilar, 47. Janae Traylor, 46. Monique and Richard Welch, rookie. Richard, I got it, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Richard Welch. Monique and Richard Welch, 45. Good conversation we had with those guys at the party. Giovanna Nicholas Castillo, 44. Gerda Williams, 43. Terrace, 42. Ken Cerna, 41. Chris and Mary Phelps, 40. Edward and Jamie Musgrove, 39. Wendy and Eddie Campos. Wendy and Eddie Campos, congratulations, 38. Andrew and Jennifer Gaines, 37. Hilario Guerrero, 36, ahead of Gaines. That was kind of interesting on how that point system worked out. Marcelo Vargas, 35. The brother is competing on his own. Ricardo Lopez Nieves, 34. Paul Medrano, 33. Zaldo, 32. Vic and Anna, 31. Tommy Clark, 30. Coulter, 29. Coulters have brought up their game the last 60 days. Octavio and Maciel, 28. Roger and Brenda, 27. Impressive. Roger and Brenda, 27. Anela and Javier Castro, 26. Solis, 25. I think it's the highest ranked person from Cornerstone is Solis, 25. Quanai, 24. Candy Thomas, 23. Summer, Bay Shop, 23. Okay, Allison and Angel Saldana, 22. Cindy Cobos, 21. Eatman, 20. They were higher ranked before. 20. Eljanet and Benny, 19. David and Sandra Vera, 18. Lou and Rhonda Pimber, 17. Jason Graziani, 16. Never in the history of March Madness has he ever been ranked 16. I don't think he's ever been ranked outside of top 10. He's always in the top 5, but 16 because it's base category the last 90 days. Joel Molina, 15. Good job, Joel. John Mason, 14. Michael Bryan, 13. Elvana Gauson, 12. Alejandro Aguilar, 11. Chris and Evelyn Richardson, 10. Marvin Del Valle, woo, number 9. Good stuff. Ricky and Erica, number 8. Jorge and Catalina Almaraz, number 7. Palayo, number 6. Chris and Vicenia Hart, number 5, by the way, top 5. Jose Marlene Gaiten, number 4. Sapalas, number 3. Del Toro, number 2. Vargas, number 1. Del Toro's ranked number 2 golf scorer. Sapalas, number 3. Gaiten, number 4. It's pretty, and by the way, there's wagers at the home office who's going to win the championship. And some people have their wagers on some interesting people, just so you know, because they're thinking the base shop category is going to change a little bit the next 90 days, but we'll see what's going to happen. All right, so let me give you the dates for the brackets on when you're facing. Round 1 will be September 1st to September 15th. That's round 1, all the 64. Round 2 will be 16th to the 30th, okay, September. Round 3, October 1st to the 15th. Round 4, 16th to 31st. Then it's November 1st to November 15th. Then it's November 16th to November 30th. That's what the bracket's going to be looking like, okay? And then we're going to find out who the champion is, and we're going to go into Million Point Base Shop knowing who's the champion, right? Okay, so now let's see who's going against 2. Round 1, Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas facing Stephanie Luan. Then we have Matt and Jessica Coulter facing Paul Medrano. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Then we have Pimbers going against Monique and Richard Welch. Oh my, if Monique and Richard Welch, if you guys beat the Pimbers, Rhonda's going to love it, first of all. But if you do, this is kind of how Jorge and Catalina Almaraz made a name for themselves, by beating somebody and then they kept beating somebody else. It could be a good matchup right there with Monique and Richard Welch. Michael Bryan going against Bianca Rist. That'll be fun. Ken Cerno against Cindy Cobos. Marvin Del Valle going against Flor and Boris Marroquin. Then we have Anel and Javier Castro going against Andrew and Jennifer Gaines. That's actually a very, very good matchup. Anybody could win. By the way, Anel and Javier Castro are ranked 25th. Gaines is 37. That's a very good matchup to watch out for. I'm going to highlight it here myself. Then we have Chris and Vicenio Hart going against Tony Martinez. Bracket number 2. All right, we have Hector Narco del Toro going against David Bryan. Hector Narco del Toro going against David Bryan. And then we have Tommy Clark going against Ricardo Lopez Nieves. Good matchup. David and Sandra Vera going against Alonso Aguilar. Jason Graziani is going against Alfredo and Crystal Garcia. Ali and Angel Saldana going against Fred and Christy Terrace. Chris and Evelyn Richardson going against Sylvia and Gene Chapman. That could be a good one as well. Solis going against Wendy and Eddie Campos. I actually really like that matchup, by the way. That could be, Solis is ranked 26th. Wendy and Eddie are ranked 38th. That could be a good one. Palayo is going against Leila and Sebastian Vargas. That's going to be an interesting matchup right there. Okay. All right, so the next bracket, if you're following it with me, Jose Marlin Gaetan will be facing Maurice and Tori Hansberry. Victor Zaldo against Hilario, number 32, going against 36. Sick matchup. El Jeanette and Benny Williams will go against Len and Tasha Cooper. Len and Tasha Cooper, this is a good one for you. You can advance. First time in a long time you can advance. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years for you guys to advance in something like this. But you got to beat El Jeanette and Benny Williams. Then it's John Mason against Colmenares. Quanan against Castillo. Elvana Gausen against Renee and Dalila Reyes. Renee and Dalila, if you guys upset Elvana here, let me tell you, complete different level you're entering if you do. I'm not going to highlight it yet because Elvana's doing 100 and some recruits a month and you guys haven't hit that number yet, but this could be all the people in the Woodlands, you have a shot here to make a name. That office does. But you're going up against somebody that knows how to recruit 100 people a month. So that means you got to have a good first 2 weeks. Roger and Brenda Rodriguez coming up ranked 27th. Chris and Mary Phelps 40th. Chris and Mary, your base has been flat for a while. This is an opportunity to bring your base back up and advance a little bit and have your other MDs know that you're getting back in the base shop game so they can also get back into the base shop game. Ricky and Erica, number 8, going against Andrina and Homero Galindo. Then next bracket, we have Sheena and Matt Zapala facing Paulette and Siamak Sabetimani. Then it's Octavian Maciel going against Vic and Anna. Phenomenal matchup right there. That is going to be a dogfight. Joel Molina faces Gerda Williams. Then we have Curtis Eatman, Curtis and Spring facing Edward and Jamie Musgrove. Now check this out, Tikran. Watch this, Tom. Watch this. Eatmans are ranked 20th, right? Edward and Jamie Musgrove are ranked 39th. But Edward and Jamie Musgrove, you know they can light it up at any point. This could be an upset. If they come out of Memphis, Edward, Jamie, you could upset Eatmans. If Eatmans come out the gate slow, boom, you could catch them round one in the first 15 days. I'm going to highlight that as a good matchup. I like that one right there. Kehindi Thomas ranked 23 facing Marcelo Vargas, Rodolfo's brother. I'm going to actually highlight that one, Kehindi, because Marcelo's recruiting 70 people a month, couple months ago. And if he does numbers like that again, Kehindi, you got to come out the gates. You and Ellie, you guys got to come out the gates. Alejandro Aguilar going against Janae Traylor. Janae Traylor, this could be your vertical move. You do something like this, you upset an Alejandro, you're kind of going to a different league. Right now, a lot of people know that we believe in you, that I believe in you tremendously. Jason believes in you. I hear about it all the time. But you have an opportunity to upgrade yourself going against Alejandro. He's ranked 11th, you're ranked 46. Jorge and Catalina Almaraz facing Carlos Medrano. And then we have the wild card bracket. All the other MDs that I didn't mention, all of you are fighting for one spot. Okay, so wild card winner will be facing the winner of Jorge and Catalina Almaraz versus Carlos Medrano. Okay, so now let's get into the prizes. Let me give you fourth place first. First of all, fourth place is the biggest budget we've ever had. We've never done fourth place this big of a budget. This is a stretch because Tikran and Tom had to go and get approval from the investors for what fourth place gets. You know, every time we do fourth place, Mario picks like that stuff. You hang it off your mirror, or Mario will get one of those baby, what do you call it, baby T-ball type of stuff. But this time, Mario, Tikran and Tom took it out of Mario's hand, and they said, we're taking a lead on this. The budget for fourth place this year, biggest ever, it's $125. Highest ever. Here's what fourth place get. Number one, brand spanking new whistle. Okay? Brand spanking new whistle. This is the whistle that high school football coaches use. Okay? Brand spanking new whistle. $9. That's limited edition. Brand new whistle. On top of that, Tom didn't just want to get a regular football. Tom decided to get a genuine leather football for fourth place. So it's a genuine leather football, fourth place. Okay, wasn't there a singer back in the days named Genuine? He was one of the best dancers. There was a song called Tell Me Do You Wanna, right? It was one of my favorite songs. If you guys have remembered that album, it's a lot of good songs there.
Do you want a football?
Huh?
It was Do You Want a Football?
Tell Me Do You Want a Football, right? Is that what it is? Yes. It's okay. Sorry, next. So then Tom reminisced about what he used to wear in 1990. Tom used to have a 1990 limited edition Swatch watch, okay? So he said, we got to give that away to somebody. So you don't want to be fourth place. You get the idea. You get a whistle, a leather football, and you get a Swatch watch. Now, third place. Let me tell you what you get third place. When I was at the Louis Vuitton store the other day, they had this luggage. I looked at the roller bag, the one that you can carry on into the plane when you're traveling. Insane what it looks like. So I said, we got to get our field one of this. Third place, you get a Louis Vuitton roller bag they can carry on. And on top of that, his and hers, we're also getting you a Louis Vuitton classic duffel bag. So you got the two Louis to go together, matching colors to go together, $6,000, $7,000, but that's going to go to the third place person. So now what's second place? Let me tell you what second place is. Second place, I kind of love, you know, Tom was telling me, he was speaking to George, he says, at least once a month he gets a compliment on his watch. Everybody says, I know exactly what kind of watch that is, you know, congratulations for the watch that you have. And he says, it's a gift, they got it for me, I didn't pay for it. He says, well, you know, whatever you're doing great. So guess what we're doing again? Second place. We're getting the second place winner, brand spanking new Breitling watch. And by the way, this Breitling watch is insanely beautiful. And so that goes to second place. But if you're husband and wife, you say, well, how about me? You know, if you got a watch like this for him, what if I don't want a watch? What if I want something else? Don't worry. We're getting you a $5,000 Chanel purse, by the way. The kind that when you put in, everybody sees the sign, they know that's a legit $5,000 purse. Second place gets a Chanel purse on top of the Breitling watch. Go enjoy it and look good when you go to the Beyond for being second place, because you fought to make it all the way to it. This is going to be a very competitive bracket, by the way. Let me tell you what we're doing with first place. Ready? So the theme of this entire contest is not called March Madness, obviously, because it's September. But the theme is called, some of you guys that are sports people, you kind of get the trend. Tom's wearing a football jersey. We're giving away genuine leather footballs and all this other stuff. First place, we're getting you 2 tickets to go to the Super Bowl, which is going to be nuts. I think it's in Atlanta. Yes?
That's right.
And on top of the 2 tickets to Atlanta, Super Bowl, we're getting you 2 more tickets. 2 more tickets, which means what? You win first place, you get to take a couple with you to the Super Bowl from your base shop. How sick is that, by the way? But we're not stopping there, because we got you 2 tickets, and we got a couple on your team 2 tickets, and we'll cover all your flights and hotel, and we're throwing in 2 more tickets. 6 Super Bowl tickets for first place. 2 non-MDs and you go to the Super Bowl. And by the way, it doesn't stop there, right? Let me tell you what else happens on top of that. Can I tell them what else happens on top of that? Man, I love how we take care of our people. Let me tell you what else we're doing. So not only first place, because to go through, you're going to be bloody, you're going to be hurt. You've been to so many different competitions. For 90 days, you've been going, no breaks. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. You make it to the end and you win. You get the 6 Super Bowl tickets. We want you to go in style. So the winner, whoever wins, you get to take other people with you and have a good time. But whatever second place wins, you also get. So you also get the Breitling and the Chanel purse to go with the first place. So that is what we're giving to March Madness champions, whoever ends up winning. I'm sorry, PHP Super Bowl champion. Mario keeps correcting me, right? PHP Super Bowl champion. Let me put it to you this way. If you've never been to the Super Bowl, there are certain things you have to experience as a bucket list. Super Bowl 100% is one of them. 100%. I've been to every single major sporting, every single, so I went to Lakers when they won Game 7. I've been to NHL when the Kings won their first ever Stanley Cup. I've been to Super Bowl when the Arizona Cardinals faced Pittsburgh Steelers, and we went to the Dodgers when they lost to Houston, which was devastating, right, on Game 7. So I've been to all, and I'm telling you, that's my bucket list type of stuff. Now, the next bucket list is to take my kids to these events. But you got to go experience Super Bowl. So whichever base shop you're in, if I'm looking at the brackets and I'm a non-MD, I'm speaking to my upline MD and saying, look, I want to go to the Super Bowl and take my girl and take my husband with me because my husband wants to go. What do we need to do for you to beat everybody? So I'm not only letting this bracket be seen by my MD, I'm looking at it myself as a non-MD because I want to beat everybody. You got to bring it in this one, by the way, because you want to go do the math. What the math is on first place, go do the math. It's very easy. Go see how much the tickets are going to be sold for Super Bowl and go see how much Breitling watches are and Chanel purses are. Very easy. And the flight, and the hotel, all that other stuff. Biggest budget ever for first place, but it'll be a dogfight. That I will tell you. And by the way, I think 10 or 15 people can win first place. I really think 10 or 15 people can win first place, but you got to come out the gates and you got to shock a few people and kick them out. That's what you got to do. But I believe 10 or 15 people can compete for that. So now, T, can I also tell them for the non-MDs what the competition is going to be, okay? By the way, again, personal recruit is 4 points. Personal app, 1,000 points you write, it's 3 points per 1,000 point in app, right? So if I write one app that's 20,000 points, that's only 3 points because it's 1-to-1. Okay? If I write 50 apps, but it's only 1,000 points, that's only 3 points because it's 1. Counts to us as 1, okay? Base recruit is 2 points. Base app, 1,000 points, is 2 points. That's what it is. Anybody in your base shop that gets a new check during that 2 week that you get them new checks, it's 5 points on top of that, okay? You get 10 new checks, 50 points. All right, so now, non-MD contest. Let me give you the non-MD contest. Here's what we're doing. Okay, so here's how the point system works for all the non-MDs. In the month of September, all of you are competing together in the month of September. Every non-MD is competing for this on 3 categories is how you score a point, okay? Number 1, each personal recruit you get is 4 points. You get 10 personal recruits, 40 points. You get 5 personal recruits, 20 points. You get the idea. For each app you write, that's 1,000 points, same thing, 3 points. For each app you write, that's 1,000 points, is 3 points. Same as the other ones, right? However, we added one more caveat to all the non-MDs. In a month of September, for every $100 you make is 1 point. So if you make $5,000, 50 points. If you make $10,000, 100 points. However, for each $1,000 you make, we count that as one app. Meaning, if you make 10 grand in the month of September, but it's only on one app, you got a big annuity, that counts as 1 to us. So you only get 10 points on that, $1,000 for one app. Make sense? So if you make $5,000 and you place 5 apps, that to us counts as 50 points. So we're doing this because we also want to get people placing their business and getting checks. Again, personal recruits 4 points, personal app 1,000 points is 3 points, per $100 you make is 1 point, and the math has to add up with the number of apps that you place. What do you win? By the end of the month, we're giving you the tech package. Here's what the tech package is. You're going to get a brand spanking new iPad, a brand new iWatch. You're going to get ear pods if you want to listen to with your phone, and we're going to get you the, what do you call it, the Beats, the wireless Beats as well. So wireless Beats, okay? You get to pick and choose whatever team color that you want. Wireless Beats, iPod, iWatch, Apple EarPods. That's going to be given to the number 1 non-MD score. Could go to anybody. If I'm an MD, I'm making sure my non-MDs are driving. Because if you want the Super Bowl, you got to be driving everybody to be going out there and scoring their points. So non-MDs, you got to participate in this. MDs, for whoever scores the most points the entire month of September, this is what you'll be getting. You'll be getting a Ferragamo shoes, brand spanking new. You can tell us if it's for her or for you, but we're getting Ferragamo shoes for you or her. You pick and choose. You're getting Ferragamo belt sent to you, whatever version you want. Let us know. We'll send it to you. And then you're getting five team color beads. You want red, you want blue, you want green, you want black, you want whatever color. I don't care what it is. 5 of them. You keep 2 for you and your spouse. You keep 3 away for anybody else in your base shop. 2 to you, 3 away to other people in your base shop. Okay, so Ferragamo shoes, Ferragamo belt, 5 beats for you to give away to anybody in your base shop. Whoever scores the most points in the month of September wins that prize. That's what the contest is looking like. Sickest contest ever. All right, so those are the matchups that we have. That's the contest that we have. Those are the initiatives. I got a couple thoughts here to wrap up with before we finish off the video. 1, everything we're doing right now, it's building up to all the leaders' big events that's coming up. 1, EIB is doing their event in San Antonio. I believe it's January 10th to the 12th. Jason's about to launch the video tomorrow. You're going to see it today on Saturday while it's going out to you. Conquer Your Dream, San Antonio. Very excited about him. He knows how to put events together. That's going to be a big event. Then you have East Coast event called the Free Enterprise War, January 23rd to the 26th. That's also in San Antonio. That's going to be involving, I believe, Sapala's, Vargas's, Kahindi, John Mason, Marvin Del Valle. Am I getting it correctly? I think those are the names that are involved. John Mason, Kahindi, I said those names. Chat. Okay, and chat as well. You guys will see the big event video that comes out. We'll send the links for everybody to see as well. And then it's the West Coast event, February 5th to February 8th at Pachanga. Gaitan, Palayo, Del Toro, Danajo, Liberation with Cooper, Alejandro Phelps, all at one big event. It's going to be insane, bonkers. So now, all of this is taking place. Remember, everything I said with net SVP numbers, a lot of you guys that show on big events are going to be tracking those numbers to see how you're improving, right? That's what you're going to be tracking. I would be tracking my MDs to see how I'm going to be increasing my numbers from this event to the next one. Here's why. Because you know I'm going to announce bonuses for SVPs at next year's event. And the way you got to do it is to make sure you take advantage of this big event that's coming up for your leaders that are putting together in January and in February. So all the records that we have, I'm going to give you a list of people that I have for next SVPs in the company. These records, I'm watching to see who wants to be the fastest. Who's going to be the fastest to MD? We have the Wisley that did it in 117 days. Who's going to be the fastest to SVP to beat Hector Nerica's record, or fastest to Chairman's Council? Or $100,000, Donna Melican did it in 63 days. Or Jorge and Catalina Almaraz, 402 days. Or Matt and Sheena Sapalo to $500,000, 582 days. Are Almaraz going to break their record and have their name be on here? 750 Sapalas, 1 million Sapalas, million point base shop Sapalas. Who's going to be the first to do anything in PHP right now with these categories? First two. You've seen a lot of the numbers I gave, but who's going to be the first 2 million point base shop? We talked about it on the Dream Team call. Who's going to be the first $2 million earner? Who's going to be the next $1 million earner? Who's going to be the first board council? I got a list of names here. Sapala, Vargas, Del Toro, Gaitan, Palayo, Jason, they're all running for board council. Everybody's running for board council. By the way, the first one, you better believe, is going to be in the history books. When we write the history books in PHP, the first board council is going to be there, and that poster is going to be there next year. When everybody comes in to next year's convention with 10,000 people, they're going to say, who's the first to a board council? One person's name is going to be there. Whose name is going to be? Whose? Do you know the guidelines? Do you know what you need here? Do you know how many recruits? Do you know how many direct MDs you need? By the way, somebody asked me a question the other day, can I count MDs that are not active? It's all active MDs that are paying insurance and are actively running the business. So an MD that's no longer in the business, no longer writing business, doesn't count. It has to be active MDs for you to be able to count them. This is for everybody, so you know, but we'll have one person be the first board council. The next chairman's council, I have a list. Cooper, Phelps, Alejandro, Danajo, Kahindi. Which one of you guys wants to be chairman's council next? Which one? Len's already hit the numbers, but Len needs 6 MDs. Len, when are you going to get your 6 MDs to be the next chairman's council? I'm actually curious. I'm actually seriously curious to know who's going to be bumped up to be on that list as the next chairman's councils. Next SVPs, I have a list here. In order of who I believe could make a run for it, I have Ricky and Erica, could be the next SVP. Mason, Hart, I have Hart above a lot of people. Then it's Almaraz, then it's Del Valle, then it's Cobos. Why is Cobos not at the top of the list? Because she needs to do the other 300,000 points and 150 recruits outside of Vargas. Who's going to do that? Is Cobos going to be urgent about becoming an SVP? I think Del Valle, Almaraz, Hart, Ricky, and Erica, Mason, can you imagine if they hit it before Cindy? It could very easily happen, but I believe still Cindy's on the list of being one of the next SVPs. Eatmans, Pimbers, Saldana, I have Hart potentially hitting SVP before Eatmans, by the way, and before Pimbers, by the way, just so everybody knows it's Eatman. If Hart hits SVP before you, you will never hear it from me here. Never. You will never hear the end of it. I'm going to make sure I talk about it 24/7 because Hearts were way behind you. Now they're catching up and passed up a little bit. Cash flow wise, numbers wise, all that stuff. Eatmans, yes, we're going to see what you guys are going to do. Chris and Vicinio are going. Are Curtis and Spring going to be going? I don't know. We'll see that part. Pimbers, do they want to be SVPs? Ali and Angel, Saldana, becoming SVPs. Gaines, I have it on that list. I have Ali higher because Ali's promoting MDs recently faster than Gaines is. Then I have Richardson, Michael Bryan, Elvana, El Jeanette, Terrace, Ariano, Vera, Molina. These are the names I have here. I have names of next $2 million earners where it'll be Sapalas. Who is it going to be? You know, who's going to be the next 750 earners? Gaitan, will he hit it before Palayo? Will Vargas get it done? I know Vargas has crossed 700 before anybody else outside of Sapalas, but will he get to 750 and change the rank? Or Vargas or Del Toro, Graziani, what's going to happen with their income-wise, right? We talked about who's going to be the first Hispanic $1 million earner. There hasn't been too many Hispanic $1 million earners in the industry, maybe 10, but who's going to be the first Hispanic $1 million earner in PHP? right? Then you have $500,000 earners. Will it be Cooper, Phelps, Almaraz, Cobos, Ricky and Erica, Diana, Joe, Candy? Who's going to be the first $500,000? These are the people that I have at $250,000. When is Mason going to get his $250,000 knocked out of the way? When is Alejandro Aguilar, Pimber, Eatman, Chapman, Michael Bryan, Terrace, Gaines, Del Valle, Alfredo and Crystal, Donna, Hart, Musgrove? When are you going to get it done? And I'm curious to know who takes pride to say, I'm going to get it done before the rest of the guys. Because that's where we're at right now with PHP, $100,000 ring. I got some names here. Ali, when are you getting your ring? Saldania, Angel, when are you guys getting your ring? Wendy and Eddie Campos could get their rings before you. Can you imagine if that happens? Anel and Javier Castro, Liz Garcia, Sisme Avalar, Chanel Consuji, Carlos Medrano, Vera, Richardson, Galindo, Molina, Manny Lopez, Vic and Anna, Monique and Richard Welch. When are you guys getting your rings? When is Quanan getting his ring? When is Gaudet getting his ring? When is Trailer, Maldonado, Sabetimani, Zaldo, Robert Tasio, Paul Medrano, Solis, Rojas, Colmenares, Elvana, Alonso Aguilar, Piedad, Murugia, Florin, Boris Marroquin, Luan, Altima, Gerda Williams, Isais Martinez, Leon Clarissa Martinez. When are you guys going to get your rings? When are you getting it? Listen, the race is on. This will be the greatest run ever. And the company, like I said earlier to you, whether you had a great event, a neutral event, or a bad event, you're frustrated. We're not waiting on anybody. Anybody. If you decide to go on cruise control, totally fine with us. We're going. Someone in the company is taking the lead. Someone in the company is going to master the art of taking a leg 24 deep. Someone in the company is going to master the art of promoting SVP 0 to MD in 12 months. You're going to see a complete different ball game on the Leaders Bulletin. Do not be surprised if for the first time in the history of the company, you see a level of separation you've never seen before. Don't be surprised. You're starting to see who's scoring the most equity on their teams. You saw Vargas and Cepalos. Don't be surprised if there's a major separation taking place. It's going to be a very uncomfortable 2019, but a very comfortable 2019 for the people that come out the gate strong today. So while you're watching the video, some people skipped it. Just so you know, some people aren't even watching this part while I'm going through it. Some people only watch 20 minutes of it. Some people are waiting to go to the office to watch it with everybody. You know who you are. You know who you are. Some of you guys, your leaders planning, you're watching the video for the first time, and you only watch 17 minutes of it in the morning. You haven't watched the rest, but some of you guys, you know what you did? You're in your bed taking notes. You sat up and you're writing stuff down, and you're flipping out. You're writing stuff down because you're telling yourself, visually, I know what happened last big event. I know what they're getting ready to do for next big event with speakers and contests and initiatives. I know it. I know PHP is about to double the amount of commissions they're about to pay. I know these guys are going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 recruits per month. I know this is going to be football. I know it's going to happen. I am no longer doubting it. I know people from all over the world are coming to PHP. I know PHP is going to go international. I know PHP is going to put the most insane events with entertainment. I want to go on this ride. So if you're watching this, I'm going to say this over and over again until you finally commit to this. Recreate yourself, and put a goal for yourself that's difficult. You may say, I don't know if I can hit this or not. Difficult. Go hit it one time. Look what happens to you. Look what happens to you. You start believing, oh my God, if I can hit this, I can hit the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And then all of a sudden your dream is limitless and we can go out there and get. So, having said that, these are all the initiatives. Make a list of the initiatives, decide which ones you can fight for, non-MD, MD, all this other stuff, March Madness, all the, PHP Super Bowl, and then make a list of things that other people on your team can fight for. Then drive everybody and go into your BOM today prepared more than anybody else in PHP. Cannot wait to see you break some records like we've never broken before in the month of September. Love you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.